When a custodian made a discovery at St. Olaf's dorms earlier this year, they found empty packages for high-capacity gun magazines. And at that time, police believed they had foiled a mass shooting plot. A student was arrested and charged with conspiracy and terroristic threats. But now, 8 months later, a different light is being shown on a lot of the evidence against that young man you just saw, Waylon Kurtz. And a judge is going to decide whether to dismiss all these charges before it ever goes to trial. Here's Lou Wergoose.
When the arrest of St. Olaf sophomore Waylon Kurtz was announced and the evidence found in his dorm and car were described, the reaction on campus and in the community at large was that a mass casualty event had been avoided.
It's crazy.
But Kurtz, back in Minnesota from his home in Vermont for a hearing at the Rice County Courthouse, is not just trying to prove his innocence. His attorney, Paul Rogoszewski, is fighting for the judge to toss the case before it gets to a trial.
What do you think a jury would do if they saw this evidence?
I think the jury is going to be on our side. I mean, the evidence is clear. There's not one person that said he wanted to hurt us. And everything that they have, we have an explanation for.
Prosecutors have pointed to a hand-drawn map Kurtz made of the Tostrud Skoglund Athletic Center as part of his alleged plan for a mass shooting. But a fellow student came forward and gave a sworn affidavit to Rogoszewski saying Kurtz drew the map for him. Directions where to meet to practice driving Kurtz's manual transmission car.
That's a fellow student. He's over at St. Olaf right now.
And prosecutors have charged Kurtz with conspiracy to commit assault. They finally named a co-conspirator, a friend of Kurtz from Vermont who hasn't been charged and who also signed a sworn affidavit that Kurtz wasn't planning anything.
So they talk about guns, they talk about various ammunition. Waylon sent him some magazines because they're cheaper here than they are in Vermont.
Rogoszewski has shared the text messages between Kurtz and the friend about their mutual interest in guns. And he says Vermont authorities have ruled out a conspiracy.
Vermont police officer talked to their county attorney who talked to this county attorney, and the statement is there is no conspiracy here in Vermont.
The prosecution has pointed to other drawings and writings by Kurtz that authorities found alarming and other behavior at school that some students found strange. But Rogoszewski argues that after filing the charges and framing the evidence one way, authorities are unwilling to consider alternate explanations.
What happened is they just got so myopic that they lost sight of the real evidence, and then they dig a hole, and it's kind of like the world today. Everybody's black and white, and even if you have evidence saying I'm right, people will ignore that.
The next decision to be made is whether the judge will schedule a trial for this case, or will she dismiss the charges before it gets to that point. She's expected to make a decision in late January.